All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for checking out this actual play of Call of Cthulhu. I am here with some amazing actors. I guess we can all wave at the camera here. And what this is a actual play of an upcoming tabletop Call of Cthulhu campaign called the Everhart Expedition. And this is an adaptation of the video game Call of the Sea for Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, which is really, really exciting. My name is Michael Feldman. I'm going to be the keeper of Arcane lore here today. And what's much more exciting than me being here is that we have many of the original voice actors for the game doing their roles right here for us, on camera, and it's just going to be, I'm so excited. This is going to be great. So why don't we go around and have you guys say who you are?
Before we do that,
yes.
Can you tell them where we are?
Oh, I can certainly do that. yes.
It's going to be very distracting.
Yes, of course. Yes. Of course. So yes, we are so fortunate right now to be filming this live at the HP Lovecraft Historical Society. This is also known as the HPLHS. We're here in Glendale, California, and the HPLHS is just an amazing storefront and just artistic, I almost say art collective, but it's a couple of wonderful people who make all kinds of Lovecraftian ephemera. There are radio dramas, there are artifacts that they make, game aids, all kinds of great props, all that good stuff. You're going to see some of those props. Films, award-winning films, all good stuff. So you can check out their website at hplhs.org to see what they have to offer. And we are filming this live, and the store is open. So there's a chance that we might have some bonus people coming in to check it out, which is amazing. So yeah, let's go around. Let's go around and have everybody introduce themselves and say your role. And also I know we were sort of doing this a little bit before. Maybe just sort of go over your history a little bit in the game. That would be great. So shall we start with you?
There or there?
All these cameras are on, so
okay.
you don't have to
play.
Go for it.
You don't have to play any particular camera.
Go for it.
Hello, I'm Cissy Jones, playing the role of Norah Everhart. Norah is a very well-educated woman from Boston in the 1920s. I have recently discovered that the thing that killed my mother and my maternal grandfather is now coming for me, and that is that I have these strange lesions appearing on my skin and my hands, and I wear gloves to cover it up so that people don't see, which I will be taking off because it's really distracting to do anything with gloves on. But as this disease comes for me, my loving husband, Harry, my old pal, has decided to go looking for a cure and for a reason. And one of the clues that we have is that when my mother died, she left me a music box that belonged to my great-great-great-grandmother, who supposedly was a Polynesian woman that my great-great-great-grandfather married and had children with. And we recently discovered a tiara made from the same material as the music box, pointing to a mysterious location in Polynesia.
I am Yuri Lowenthal, and I'm playing Harry Everhart. Harry, the Norah's dear old pal. I am an archaeologist, mostly an archaeology professor. I haven't been doing a lot of archaeology lately, but in an effort to cure my wife's mysterious affliction, I am undertaking an expedition based on the clues that we found to Polynesia in the hopes of finding a cure. Those expeditions are not cheap, and I've gone to my family, but my family does not care for Norah.
I'm too low class.
Yeah. And so luckily someone swooped in, I'm sure you'll hear about it in a second, with some money from the Boston Globe to undertake the expedition. And while I am not quite sure what her motives are, I am desperate at this point, and would just like to help my dear old pal.
Wonderful. Great. Regi, would you like to...
Regi Davis. I'm playing Frank Drayton. Frank is kind of a basic blue-collar guy. He's a vagabond also. He's kind of drifted around, just takes gigs as they come. He's a war veteran who, like a lot of war veterans at that time, found a set of skills that could sort of get him through life. And he has this offer from this sort of weird guy, this weird professor, who's thrown a lot of money at him and said, "Hey, you're not doing anything in particular. Why don't you come to Polynesia and help me on this expedition?" And Frank is the kind of guy that's like, "Sure, I don't really have any ties, anything." Even though he's married and has children, he's like, "What the heck? Let's go." And
I'm sure his wife loves him.
Sure, of course. Sure, his wife loves him a lot. And for him, it's probably just a gig at first until he's introduced to this weird machine. And there's something about this machine that really sparks his interest. And this is a chance for Frank to apply his skills and figure out this machine. If he can figure this thing out, in a way, it will elevate him to the same level as these intellectuals that he's hanging out with. So he's highly, highly motivated to figure this thing out, figure out how it works. And so he's just a knock-around guy who finds a purpose in the least likely place for him to find it.
And I forgot to mention that it's not the first time that I've worked with Frank before. I've employed him on a couple of occasions, and they've gone very well, which is why I trust him, and that's why I want him. I know he can fix anything, and that's why I want him on the expedition.
Perfect. Great.
And I'm Cassandra Dexter Ward. I'm a journalist, and I am obviously very interested in the investigation. I like to discover what's going on. But my brother disappeared, and in my efforts to figure out what was going on with that, I sort of discovered and came across this whole other world. There's just a little bit more magic in things than I first realized, and that has me very tantalized and very excited. And I love to unravel and uncover mysteries and figure things out. And so when I learned that they needed to take this journey to Polynesia, I was able to negotiate with my newspaper to see if they would be willing to let me get the exclusive story on whatever is discovered while accompanying them. So I managed to make it happen. So I'm the reason that this expedition is taking place.
Excellent. Incredible. All right, wonderful. So let's go. You guys ready to play? So just a couple of things for our viewers here. One thing to note is that if you have played the video game before, Call of Cthulhu, this is very much a what-if scenario, right? Because in the video game, Norah is following the expedition, which has been lost, right, for a year. Here, you're going on the expedition initially,
Right.
So we'll see. Yes, and so we'll see what exciting things happen as a result of that. We are also playing a very small part of this campaign. So we are actually starting with Chapter 3 of a 6-chapter campaign. So there have been 2 chapters of all kinds of exploration and interesting things. And you've been in San Francisco. You've been, I believe, exploring in like an ancient mansion at some point. It's very exciting. So there's lots of history, building up to where we're going to start. But we are going to start basically with your approach to the island. Right, we're going to be on the Lady Shannon, going towards the island, and this is going to be very. I don't know. It's going to be very dynamic. I'm going to give you a map here of the island, so you can have this to refer to. Yes. You will see as we yes. You will see as we play. There are going to be all kinds of handouts and props and all kinds of fun things. But yes, and I should also mention, by the way, this is important. None of you played Call of Cthulhu before, right?
Correct.
So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be learning some of the rules as we go along. Perhaps we'll see what happens, but this should be great. All right, wonderful. So you are again on the ship, the Lady Shannon, and you are heading towards the island. You can see it now. It is relatively circular in shape, as you can probably see. It's about 6 miles in diameter, roughly, or 10 kilometers for our metric system viewers here. It's forested, as you can see as you approach, but it does also have a very rocky appearance. So you can see there's lots of rocks poking through the vegetation. It's also mountainous. of course. So and the orography, how's that for a big word? The orography actually becomes steeper toward the center of the island, and there is actually a mountain with almost like vertical walls and a plateau on top that appears. So those of you who kind of know the natural world or know geography, everything, it's almost certainly a volcano of some kind as you get there. So as I've described this, I mean, we'll get closer to the island, but I'm curious for your characters, like, what are you thinking right now as you approach, and/or what are you doing? Are you trying to examine, like look at the island with a scene scope or binoculars? Are you writing in your diary? Are you just looking out on the horizon, thinking about what's to come? What is everybody doing?
Well, I definitely want to know who lives here.
And in a similar fashion, I've brought some books that I believe will help with the history and the civilization that might have been on this island. And so I'm using the telescope on the ship to see if there are any if there's any evidence that might help as we approach.
Terrific.
Where the heck are we? This is nowhere near St. Louis, I know that.
I am
This is true.
standing on the bow of the ship, and I've taken my gloves off for the first time in weeks, probably. And as excited as I am to see this place, I can't help but close my eyes and feel the breeze and smell the air and hear the gulls and know that there is something drawing us to this place. It's an out-of-body experience.
Nora, do you feel I don't know, you've been sick for some time. I mean, do you feel better as you approach? Do you feel, I mean, the sea breeze, sort of enlivening you, the sun beating down on the ship?
There is an essence of hope that has mixed in with the dread. And curiosity more than anything.
Amazing. Harry, I would like a spot hidden roll from you, please, as you are looking through the scope to see. So here's our first roll of the game ever. Very exciting.
Is that a 75?
75?
I believe he does not.
Okay.
He's not a great role as far as spotting hidden things.
That is that is fair. So I think, but what are you looking for when you're looking at
Looking for structures or anything that would note a kind of people who were there before or
Perfect.
or are there now.
Wonderful. I think when you examine the island, you're using, like, say, a telescope or binoculars. The main thing that stands out to you is actually at the top of that mountain that I described in the center. You actually see what look like ruins up there, which I'm sure would be quite intriguing to you, and of course how to get to those. Who knows? It's a vertical wall, so we'll have to figure that out. But you can also see in front of those ruins a large stone pillar that is supporting a giant rhombus with a rhomboid depression in the center. So very intriguing. I don't know, you've likely never seen anything quite like this before.
No, I consult some of my books and I don't see anything at all in there.
There you are. And there are also on either side of that rhombus, there are two smaller hills. So it actually looks almost like the tip of a trident as you're approaching it. Now, what I will say is, as you all get closer to the island, you notice something very odd, which is that the coastline, and really the entire coastline, is impassable because there are sharp logs that have been driven into the seabed here. So they act basically as barriers or reefs. Clearly they are man-made, right? And so, I mean, your ship could break the piles, right, with her weight, but the water's shallow, and so you would run aground as a result. So eventually, you, in the interest of getting you into the action here, we're going to cut to you on this map here that you can see coming to that beach. Yes, that beach on the south shore there that you can see, because there is actually a passage between these log barricades, right? The Lady Shannon itself can't make it through there, but you do have longboats, so you can set up kind of like a transport system to get there.
It would go against my nature to destroy those things anyway.
Of course. I mean, who knows what wonderful archaeological history, what secrets they may hold. So as you get there, you're going to unload equipment. To bring on the expedition. And I'm curious, for those of you, who are, especially Harry, but any of you, what would you like to bring on this kind of initial, foray onto the beach? Like, what equipment would you like to have that would be most important for you?
Well, I've almost gotten off the ship with nothing but my journal.
Okay. Yes.
But I realize I should probably be of help.
Yeah.
So I go and I grab a cooler of food, because there are coolers in 1920.
Amazing. Yes.
I grab
Yes.
that and some
Yes.
spy glasses and some, that.
Terrific. All right. Excellent.
Well, I would never leave the ship without my camera, because I need to make sure I'm documenting things.
Yes. Okay.
I always have my toolkit with me.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that my gun is loaded.
Perfect. Okay.
Because
So.
somebody put those things in the ground, so
Yes.
they may not want us here.
Perfect.
Taking Frank's lead, I will bring my shotgun.
Okay.
I don't like to use it, but
Yes.
it's better to have one, not need it.
Than to need one and not
Than to
have
need
it.
one and
Yes.
not have it.
Yes. Indeed. Yes.
Books are heavy. I will be leaving most of my
Okay.
books behind.
Okay.
But I
Great.
will be bringing something to write with, as well as the aforementioned spy glasses and binoculars.
Wonderful.
So Nora's just carrying this giant cooler of food, and
Yes, everybody else is
"Oh my God."
like their little equipment. Yes.
But just some
yes.
snacks, just some protein bars or something
Listen,
like that.
Mom, whatever.
Yeah. What would it be, jerky? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the
Something,
equivalent of a Cliff
yeah.
Bar?
You're right.
Apple.
Right. Yes.
1920.
Yes. Yes. Probably not hardtack, but who knows? Yes.
I'm also making sure I bring a photo of my girls.
All right.
Because they would
Excellent.
love to see this place.
Oh yeah, of course, and with the camera, I mean, maybe they will. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah.
Can I also add that rather than maybe a cooler, and I'm just gonna grab some snacks and stuff them in my little pockets here.
Yes.
But as I'm about to disembark, I set everything down and run back and grab the music box.
Perfect. Wonderful. Okay. Great.
Frank, that thing that I asked you to fix, I don't know that I rightly trust it, but I'm not sure. Do you think we should bring it with, or
You're
should I
right.
leave it safe on the ship?
You're right not to trust it, but we should bring it along. I might want to tinker with it a little bit.
All right. Well, I support that.
All right.
So
Excellent.
when they're talking,
Yeah.
I grab my Derringer, because I decide if they have guns, I want to make sure I have my gun, but I don't want anyone to know I have my gun.
Okay, so you do it like very sort of
Surface.
discreetly. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Great. And just so you know, the ship's crew as well is also unloading equipment, because the plan is for you to stay here, right, for several days. In fact, the
Right.
basic plan is that the ship will unload equipment, will unload everything for you. You will then explore, make camp, right, stay here for several days, and then they will come back on a return trip to pick you up. So that so that's going on in the background, right, for everybody. I will say, just for our viewers as well, that in the campaign here, there's a big mechanic of the men helping do with the equipment and unloading while the women yes, and doing all this stuff. Yes,
Doing mani-pedi.
yes.
Right.
In the
Nora,
interest.
you're sick. I don't want you to trouble
Don't worry, I
yourself
got the
with-
cooler.
Yes.
It's
Right.
fine.
Yes, but in the interest of time, I would love to allow all of you to explore. So we will have the ship's crew just be doing that, and so yes, of course, yeah. So I tend to be a kind keeper when it comes to this
Captain
kind of stuff.
Katanga.
Yes,
Have your
so,
men.
yeah. Exactly. So okay, so you're here. I mean, how exciting is this, right? You're at this unexplored. Well, you maybe thought it was unexplored. It clearly is very explored. But this island you've never seen before. Just with since you're here and sort of exploring the beach. First off, I want all of you, please tell me where you'd like to go. Right on the map as you explore, I can see over this thing, so you can point to things and I'll do it. You can split up. You can all be together. Wherever you want to go. I will say that just the site that you're on right now, just the southern beach itself, it's clear that it's been visited quite recently. Actually, there's lots of stuff on the beach. There are like examples of Polynesian art scattered around. Some of them are actually like coming out from the sand, and we'll go into some of that a little bit later. But some of them are like peeking out from the undergrowth. If anyone wants to roll archaeology, you're welcome to.
If only we had an archaeologist.
If only, yes. You're welcome to do so. And and again, because I know this is everybody's first time, I'm suggesting things, but feel free to say, hey, I want to roll this, and do it, and that's fine. So
well, I will definitely look at some of the things that are that are around, as
Perfect.
well as seeing if there's a path to the to the what we saw in the distance, the
rhombus.
the volcano, the rhombus.
Oh, of course, yes.
Starting off the day with terrible rolls.
Okay.
I missed my archaeology because
Yes.
I'm used to different types of archaeology. This is
Fair.
this is something that's more new to me. So.
Perfect.
You've been
And-
so preoccupied.
Yeah.
So a 97 is far from. Yes, I forgot. You can't
Yes.
always see what I'm rolling.
Oh, this is
but,
great. Are there? Yeah.
I would like to roll a spot hidden because
do.
as I'm looking around, and
Yes.
again, I'm feeling truly like grounded in a way that I haven't.
Sure.
I want to see if there's anything below the naked eye.
Absolutely.
That is. Nope. Well, that's an 81, so
All right.
I see nothing.
All right, no, that's
great.
that is completely fair. So maybe it's nerves, maybe honestly, there's a lot of unknowns here, right? There's a lot of things that I think Harry, you don't recognize, right? I mean that you've maybe you can certainly tell it's Polynesian, but maybe you've never quite seen this, the patterns here before, or it may be hard to tell what the age of some of these things are, right? So it's maybe, I don't know, maybe it's disconcerting for you. Maybe
very
it's
exciting,
yeah,
actually.
maybe quite exciting. And with your spot hidden roll, I will say you certainly don't notice anything out of place, I would say. But actually, Norah, I think for you, I asked you about if you were feeling better, right? As you approached. Now that you're here, this isn't a spot hidden exactly, but I think you're feeling better than you felt in a very long time. And it's almost distracting in a way, right? Because you just haven't. I mean, maybe it's been years even.
There's a rush of
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
in my blood in a way that I haven't felt since I was a child.
Yeah.
The air smells cleaner, and the footsteps feel more solid, and it's almost as if with every footstep I feel the tendrils of the island reaching up to welcome me.
Yeah, and I think too, you have been living in the big city, right, for a long time, and here now in nature, you're hearing birds, right, chirping and calling. In fact, you may even hear some like squawking, right, that like of parrots and what have you. You haven't heard that in a long time. You can hear running water, off in the distance. So there's a lot to explore and a lot to
Ready to
cover
set up
here,
camp.
which is great.
We're moving.
There we go. Let's do it. No, that's great. And Cassandra and for Cassandra and Frank, what do the two of you do?
Well, I'm feeling a little disappointed that our resident archaeologist hasn't given us an idea of what we should be going to look for, because I feel like there should be something here that we can discover, and I just don't know what it is yet. So, I'm a little frustrated because she's just gaping at all the pretty things around, and he's not giving us any idea of what we should do.
Okay.
I'd like to check this island out, see if there's anybody here.
Let's do it.
That
sounds great.
Who knows who's here? And if we're not alone, I want to know who's around.
Wonderful. Great. Where would you like to go on the map?
Well, there's a path here, so I'm going to take this path.
Okay.
and
Yep.
Follow that.
Perfect.
Would you like us to come with you, Frank?
No.
You take this one on your own.
You stay here. Let me make sure that the coast is clear before we get too
All right,
comfortable.
don't be gone long, or I'll worry.
I'll be back, but I don't know. We might be packing up sooner than you think.
All right. Excellent. So how about everybody else? Just so I know sort of a general game plan here. Yeah.
Well, I would have gone with you, but I guess not.
You could always sneak behind him.
There's a lot of places to hide on the beach.
He does have a shotgun.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Don't
You wouldn't want to.
scare
That's
him.
fair. Yes.
And I'll still be looking over things on the beach, and but I usually dote over Norah, but You know, she seems quite
But I'm okay, my old pal.
quite okay. That's right, dear old pal.
I would like to climb to a higher elevation and see if I can get a better look over the island.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess unfortunately, if you want to say that, that would be following Frank right now. That's the path to get up to the higher elevation.
Oh, Frank.
Frank, dear.
Yes. The one thing I will say is it's not a higher. Actually, it's kind of lower almost. But the path that you can see heading off to the west there, that thin path.
This guy?
Is going through sort of like a tunnel. You know, it's like a cave, basically, kind of thing. That and I will say, Norah, I think if you're not able to follow Frank, you might actually feel a little drawn to that cave.
Then
so you could
go
do that
towards
if you like.
I will follow you for a scant bit and then veer left.
All right.
Goodbye.
Excellent. Harry, how about yourself?
I'm going to try to find out what that sharp humming is in the distance.
Yes.
Which I assume you've orchestrated.
Yes.
For
Oh,
our
I
game.
have. They are at my beck and call. Yes. Yes. Yes.
All I heard is shark on the roof as well.
For our viewers, there's construction going on around here, so it's fine.
They're working
Yes,
on the ship.
Yes. Yes.
No, examining the things I find on the beach, not letting Norah get too far out of sight.
Sure.
But
Perfect.
yes.
Okay. Terrific.
And I'm taking notes of what has happened on our journey and where everyone's headed off to.
Sure.
But I'm also keeping an eye on him and seeing if he comes across anything on the beach that I need to be aware of.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So let's start with Frank because you said you were going to head up that path. Frank, as you walk up, you notice well, it's hard to miss them as you'll see they're quite large. These wooden panels that are sticking out of the sand, right? And at first glance, they seem to represent like scenes, like sort of like almost like war scenes in a sense. And they are, just all along the path. And I do happen to have them here as props, so give me a second here.
Love this.
So here, I don't, they're in an order, so I'll give them to you in order the order you uncover them. Here's the first one. And yes, for those of you, you can see that they actually do sort of smell like smoke, which is fun. So, yes, which is very fun. Definitely feel free to pass these around. Here's a second one as well.
My grandfather was a wood craftsman, when I was a kid, and this is like
great.
taking me back.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing.
So cool.
Here's the third one. Yep.
Pass this back around.
Yeah. Definitely. Sorry. Here's the fourth one. Definitely feel free to place them, anywhere on the table.
Feeling very bad for the people on this island.
Yes, and you can. Sorry. Here's the fifth one. And here is the last one. Now, just as a note here, these are sticking out of the sand, right? These are just obviously depictions, but you can imagine these are like even taller, right? And kind of very, very clearly depicted to be, to be like four people coming to the island to see these things, for whatever reason is, you don't know yet. All right, so. Frank, as you walk up the path though, and you find these these various boards, right, and then come past them, you come up to now the map is covered by the narrative boards. That's fine. I just wanted to clarify for you there. It's all good. I know what's scary, there's going to be more too, so get ready. You can see that sort of the brown, right, kind of rectangle that's there. So what that is actually a gate. That has obviously been very, very clearly constructed. It is a palisade of sharp logs that are about 10 feet high, or 3 meters high for our viewers, that are held in place by ropes, right? And there's a gate in the middle, okay, that could be raised and lowered. Frank, as a mechanic, you can tell the condition of this and everything. You don't need to roll or do anything with this. It's in perfect condition. And it's actually very clearly been repaired several times. So somebody's here, or has been here for sure. If I don't know if you want to roll anything like a mechanical repair roll, or anything like that. to try to get more information, or if you want to continue to look in the area, because there is more in the area.
I want more information.
Okay, great. So give me a roll. Give me a mechanical repair roll.
17.
That's it. Our first. I think that's our
Right.
first
That's
successful
our first
roll.
successful roll.
Yes. All right. Excellent.
Frank.
Terrific. Okay, that's great. Okay.
Is it, oh no, that's 11. That's
Oh,
even better.
better.
That's
Okay.
even better.
Incredible. Well, okay. And actually, we did like a little pre-rules thing before we did this, and I didn't go over this, so that's fine. You have different degrees of success when you roll, right? You can get what's called a regular success, a hard success, or an extreme success. And the numbers on your sheet should show you like there's from sort of like highest number to lowest number will be your regular to hard to extreme. Yeah. So does that fall into one of the the higher categories? And 11 is an excellent roll, so it's likely one of those. Is it which one is it?
It's extreme.
It's beautiful. All right,
Yeah.
Great. All right, so Frank, you're gonna get a lot of info as a
leading
result.
this
That's
expedition.
awesome. Yeah, yes, right? It was good choice, Harry.
Definitely gonna be
yes,
the next one.
yes,
Done.
excellent work. Yes.
If any of us survive.
There's that too.
Yes. All right, great. So, okay, a number of things will happen here. First off, the gate is blocked by some kind of mechanism. And furthermore, you can actually see on the other side there's a rope contraption that would release a counterweight that would allow it to be raised. So there's some kind of, sort of mechanical thing going on. You can also, with an extreme success, tell that there are these, you can see these without needing a roll, but you, with an extreme success, will be able to tell that these directly relate to the gate. There are 2 carved tree stumps that are fixed to the ground in front of the gate, on either side of the gate. And they are accompanied by 2 levers that have been inserted into the ground. One of the stumps has a wooden lid on top of it, and the lid has a cylinder at the bottom, sort of like a bottle cap, right? Kind of thing. And the cylinder has carved teeth that protrude, and they fit into the stump. And when you insert, you can turn it a little, right? So this has been very cleverly constructed. The other stump has no lid, and you're welcome to look inside if you would like to see what's going on in there.
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
It has a hollow interior, and there are holes and slots that seem, very, very much like what the lid, what the sort of bottle cap-like contraption on the other one, it seems like something else, something very similar to that original bottle cap would fit in there. What do you do?
See, I'm tempted to just go back to where we landed and tell everybody that we're not here alone, to be careful. You've got to get your shotgun out. Because it's obvious that there's a group of people here. They've been here recently. But the mechanic in me wants to find out how this thing works.
Sure, of course.
Oh, goodness. I think I have to. I gotta start exploring this contraption.
Sure, yeah.
And I've got to pull this lever.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I got to.
Yeah, perfect.
You can't shut up that internal mechanic.
I've got to pull this lever. I need to know.
That's the
not
wheel
just,
going in his
Yeah,
head.
it's not,
Yes.
that's
That's
what's
the sound inside your brain.
Yes.
Not just what it does.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I need to know how sophisticated this thing is,
Sure.
because I need to know what we're dealing with.
Sure.
Who we're dealing with.
Absolutely. So you pull one of the levers, 2 of the levers. How do you? What's
I'm
your
gonna pull
plan?
one.
Okay.
And see
Yeah.
what happens.
Great. Nothing happens when you pull the lever. I mean, it makes maybe a little bit of a clicking noise, but nothing, no reaction.
Gotta pull the other.
Okay. Same thing.
Nothing.
Nothing. And the one thing I will say is the first. I didn't quite ask you for the specification, but let's say the first lever was connected to the stump that had the lid on it, right, and inserted. There was a clicking noise that happened from the first lever, but the second lever there is no noise. So, it seems with your extreme success, you clearly need to insert something into the second stump to make that clicking noise happen.
Well, now I'm on a search.
Yeah, great.
I'm on a search for what could possibly fit in this contraption to make it work.
Excellent. Let's do it. Let's go search. Let's so now you have a quest, so to speak, to find this thing. That's great. Let's go. I don't know. Let's see. Who should we do next? Let's have Norah, I guess, go next. So you're going through the cave, right? That is. I mean, is that? I sort of gave that to you. Like I almost forced that on you, and I didn't really mean to.
Because it's hard to see hard to see the actual like topography. You know, like we have a 2D version of this, but it's hard to see. Like yes, I'm headed to the cave.
Great.
I'm a spelunker.
Perfect. And also, Regi, for Frank and everything here, feel free to like think about where you want to go next to explore and find everything here. Perfect. Okay. So yeah.
Question.
Of course.
This cave.
Yes.
Is my way completely blocked?
It is completely blocked. What I will say though is that you could conceivably, and I don't think Harry would enjoy this very much, but you could conceivably blow it up if you wanted, right? I mean, this is not so constructed, or heavily fortified, I guess I should say, that you couldn't use demolitions or you couldn't, Another thing I would say with your extreme success, and you as an expert mechanic, you could maybe, if you don't find anything, make something of your own. Yes, fashion of something of your own. So that's another possibility as well. So you can definitely be clever and crafty here with all this stuff, right?
I do have some experience with demolitions, so.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, great. So Norah, you're exploring this cave, right? And it's I mean, as you can see from the map, it's a very linear, just one
this
path.
whole thing is a cave.
Yeah, that whole thing. It's like a tunnel, basically. It's a cave system, but it's like a very thin tunnel. Yes. Yes. Now you do see there is a path that branches off, right, to the right, I guess, as you're walking through it. So you could explore that if you like, or you could continue to the end. It's up to you.
I want to go to the end because I can smell the sea air coming in.
Wonderful.
And something about it is calling to me.
Excellent. Yes. And again, you are feeling sprier maybe than you've felt in a long time, and you feel great. So maybe there's a little hop in your step, a little however it is. You get to the end, and you can see that there is actually at the end of this tunnel like a square window that has been dug out of the rock. Do you look through it?
Absolutely.
Okay. You see a rocky bay, and you see. Let me grab this.
Props.
Well, it's a picture. But you see what is, and Harry, you would certainly know what this is, and whatever. This is a statue, a Polynesian called an unu, and you see that unu sticking out of the water.
How deep in the water?
Not particularly deep. I mean, I guess I would say, perfect, exactly.
Like a third.
Yes, like a third. Yes, exactly. Yes, so you can see that there. Yes, very good. Cool.
And Harry, do I know that Harry would know what that is? It's like
that's kind of up to you, honestly. I will say this is something.
You know me pretty well, Norah.
Yeah, that's true. This is definitely something unlike say when you did your archaeology roll and you didn't recognize. This is a sort of a simpler, more kind of thing. This is just a very traditional Polynesian sort of totem, I guess, or statue. So that's like almost effectively common knowledge for people who know the culture.
So can I roll an archaeology roll?
Sure.
Like having lived with this guy?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to roll some dice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And failed again. That's a 78.
That's great. No problem.
Where's my 5e? Like 5e, I'm crushing it right
now.
Right. My God.
Right. Yeah, no, it's great. Again, you could push potentially,
right.
but it's.
I want to push.
Okay, go for it.
I'm feeling saucy.
Here we are.
We don't have enough time not to take risks.
Yeah, sure.
That's a 10.
Hey!
Is it a 10 or is it 100?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, is it 100?
It's a 1, 0, and
it's
a
10
0.
and then a 0.
That's a 10. That's actually a 10.
Sweet
Yes.
Lord.
I should have mentioned that it's a funny thing. All zeros is 100.
Okay.
So yes.
All zeros.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so I'm just above the extreme, but I am within the middle.
Okay. I'm going to do something a little odd. That may seem a little counterintuitive. I'm actually going to you're going to recognize things later based on your role with this, based on getting close to an extreme success. What I will say is that with that level of success, I mean, you know this isn't Uno. You do realize a couple of things just from there. One, you can see the symbol on it, right, which suggests very much like water, right, or a wave to you, I think. And you also notice the top, right, of it, and you notice that there is a missing. A missing.
Okay, so this is the no.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
This?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's water.
Yes, I think you would recognize that is like
and we're missing a tooth.
Yes, and you'll also of course it's notable that you spotted this Unu coming out of the ocean as well.
Which will make so much sense to me later.
We'll see what happens. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, and Norah, with that too, I think this is something where this came to you in a flash, right? Like this is almost. I mean, how? like how did you know what was important here? How did you know to recognize this? I don't think you know, but it's as if something about this place makes sense to you in a way that a lot hasn't in a long time.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
Okay. But I can't get through this little window in the stone, right? I'm
no,
just
it's
here
too
looking.
small. Yeah,
okay.
sorry, it's too small. It's yeah.
So, in the caves of the wall, do I notice anything, any like etchings, artwork, anything like that?
Not etchings. There's a lot of
blood.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, we're not there yet. No, there's yeah. No, you do notice definitely like kind of moss, right? And just sort of various like I guess cave growth. You can tell I'm an expert in this personally. Yeah. Yeah, kind of thing. But
Cavey lichens.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. But you don't recognize anything. I mean there's nothing, I guess, for lack of a better word, cultural here or anything like, significant to you other than, again, that this place is alive. It's teeming with life, as are you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can I go back? Or are we going to someone else now? Like, I want to go check this out, but if we need to go to somebody else, we can go to somebody else.
Why don't we, you know what? Okay, I'll do a fun directorial thing here. You go there, you go into that area, and you see like a giant sort of stone statue, kind of just in the middle of the clearing. And this is actually a fun thing for our viewers. You would recognize this from something earlier in the campaign that we are not playing. That it looks similar to something you spotted.
That thing looks very familiar to a thing we saw earlier.
Yes. But you see it, and maybe it strikes you as intriguing. And now we'll cut to Cassandra and and I'm sorry. So just to clarify, Cassandra, the two of you are just exploring the beach.
Yeah,
right?
well, I'm keeping an eye on what he's up to, but he seems to be looking around.
Perfect.
So.
Harry, where are you going on the beach? What direction?
It does look like there's something over here.
Yes. Okay.
I'd like to go visit that.
Yes. You find something maybe mysterious to you, not maybe archaeological in nature, but you find the remains there of, it seems to be like a camp, like an old camp. So we're talking like the remains of a tent, there's a sleeping bag, or actually I guess multiple sleeping bags, there's like pots, a canteen, right, among the sand. You're welcome to search this more if you'd like with the spot hidden roll.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Because it appears that maybe some people were here before us.
Sure.
From what I can tell, it doesn't look native Polynesian.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
From
what I can tell,
sleeping
yes.
bags were.
Yes.
And again.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. 68 on 45. So.
Well. Okay.
So I'm just so taken aback by being here.
Yeah.
Plus, I was seasick on the journey.
You were.
It's really kind of thrown me.
What I'm gonna actually do here for Harry, as you're saying you're seasick, Harry, you are looking around. I mean, maybe a little disconcerted, and you actually, with that Phil, you trip over something on the beach. You actually fall into the sand, and I don't know. Do you shake? How do you feel? Do you shake yourself off, or you
shake myself off and see what it is I tripped over?
Yeah. Okay. You find actually the remains of a tarp. That you've fallen, maybe even an awning, right? But Harry, this awning, there's something very disconcerting about it. It has been torn by what appears to be an animal of some kind. You can actually make out grooves that have been left over by what look like 4 like sort of claws, similar in size to say a human hand. So just for fun, because we haven't done this yet, give me a sanity roll, please. Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Where's my sanity?
Should be up on the top.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Come on, for once, give me a. Whew.
It passed.
Barely.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Very good.
63 on a 70 sanity.
So Harry, so
close for comfort.
amazing. So Harry, this obviously disconcerting, but maybe you've seen. I mean, you tell me. Have you seen this kind of thing before? Like torn awnings, animal interference, I guess, with camps.
It does remind me of some things that I have read about.
Okay.
Yeah, I've come across in my in my studies things that would have been dismissed as cults and their ravings, but it does. Sure. It does. It's starting to become clear that maybe. They're not so ravey as I thought, but we will see as we go ahead. Although I will definitely make sure my shotgun is loaded, and that I inform everybody when I see them.
Get your pipe ready.
Yes, that's right.
Incredible.
It's a quick light.
Amazing. And what I'll say is for Cassandra, you're saying you were following him, right? But there is another area of the beach, right? Down on the other side. And I think you notice maybe you're not like deeply looking at it, but maybe you just notice this actually looks like almost an excavation site of some kind. It is it's old. So there's not much you can find. I mean, clearly, like there's been rain that has eroded it. There's just time in general. But you can actually see like there's some picks and shovels and other tools, in that area. So, but you're on your own here. What do you want to do?
Can I try and spot hidden?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
100%.
Oh. I got a 97.
Nice. Amazing.
That's the second 97.
This is God, we are rolling so well. No, this is great. That's fine.
Catastrophic.
Yes. No. It is all good.
You're eaten by the excavation.
Cassandra-
Thank you for playing.
It was lovely knowing you all.
Yes. Yes, you're pulled into the sea. Yeah. Cassandra, I think with a 97, you. Well, okay. I'm gonna treat this a little bit. You don't notice anything. Certainly,
right.
that's notable. However, do you want to keep this secret?
I mean, yes. I'm rather intrigued to
Yeah.
sort of dig around here myself.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm just suggesting this. Like, you may not want to tell Harry
Right.
that it's there.
Right.
Kind of thing. Okay. Very good. And also don't forget. There are crew. From the ship that are still unloading and and everything, so you can absolutely use them to kind of cover stuff up or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
honestly I had half a mind to go follow after him and see what he was up to.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and actually, speaking of Frank, where do you want to go? What do you want to do next here?
Well, I certainly haven't been able to figure out how to repair this device.
Right.
Something goes in there. I don't know what it is. But I think I'd like to climb over it and keep going.
Okay, amazing. All right, this is incredible. So, all right, here's what I will say about climbing over this. So again, it's 10 feet high, right? So you'll obviously need some kind of equipment. You're not going to be able to jump that. You'll need some kind of equipment. There's actually a wooden cornice that's in place to prevent it. So you're going to have to be very successful at. You're going to have to roll. To see if you can do it.
See if I can do it.
Yes, but I'm open to it.
Yeah.
Do you want to try it for sure?
Let's see if I can make it over.
Let's see what happens.
Sounds dangerous.
Watch this be an extreme success. Yeah, this is gonna be great. Yeah.
27.
Wow. Wait, is that
Yeah.
For some reason I don't have your.
I made
That'd
it.
be
Wow. Incredible.
I
Okay.
made it over.
That's incredible. All right.
So far,
Wonderful.
he's the only one succeeding.
Great.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
one competent member of this expedition.
That is well no, and this is interesting because I don't think anyone else. I mean, you haven't gone back, right? So no one else knows that
No
this
one
is even
knows that
here.
I found it. No,
yeah,
yeah.
that's absolutely amazing.
That
All
was
right.
the last we saw of Frank.
This is great. I have to admit, I didn't plan for this, and I love it. This is awesome. Yeah, no, this is great. Wonderful.
You must have eaten the berries on the island.
This is the magic of this game. Okay, great. So incredible. So you're able to you're able to do it. I mean, you're able to actually get over this. When you do, right, when you're able to actually, I guess maybe you rappel. I don't know how you want to, whatever equipment you were able to bring to do this. You find on the other side, you actually can't open the gate from the other side, because basically there's like a block, right, that is made up of like the rock that's in contact with the gate, and so even if there's actually like a counterweight that I described earlier, like even if you remove that counterweight, that block would still be there. So, and I think with that extreme success too, you realize there's something about that, that system with the levers and everything that would remove that, help remove that block. So very sophisticated for sure, but also, sort of trapping you a little bit, unless you're able to make another climb roll, trapping you on the other side. But yeah, it's fascinating. So you've made it across.
I've made it across.
Incredible. Where do you want to? I assume you want to keep exploring.
I do.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go into this area over here. There's a little.
Oh, sure.
There's an area to the left.
Yes, there is. Excellent. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. We'll cut to other people here in a second. But so you do this. You go into that clearing. This is actually like, there are large trees, right? As you're going, through this path. It's beautiful. I mean, it's there's a beautiful breeze coming through, and this trail that you're on leads to a clearing, in there, and you actually, I think when you come in, I don't know if Frank, if you're used to nature very much, like if you're used to, tropical or not, you get overwhelmed probably because there is suddenly a ton of squawking. And you realize you are in the home of a large colony of lorikeets, which are I actually have a picture of them eventually, but they're like a small oceanic parrot. They have really beautiful multicolored plumage. And you see a tall central tree that is at, sort of in the center of the clearing. It's probably why this clearing exists. And at its foot, there is another one of those unus, which I will show you now. So, hold on. Let me get our exciting things here. We actually have two pictures of this one for you. On the front, at the foot of it, you see. Here you are. Sorry, you see there's a bird sitting on a little birdhouse there, in front of it, and then on the back you find this.
Mysterious chevron.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A+ for the term chevron.
Yeah, that was quite good. I know. We're doing orology and chevron.
I'm a fan of nomenclature.
Excellent.
So the gap is on the other side from this one. Chevrons versus fish hut. And what is?
That's the same. That's the same.
Okay. Oh, that's the same.
The back of that, which
Yes.
is why
Yes.
the back
Yes. Okay. Wonderful.
So this is what you're seeing the back of.
Nora, we'll cut to you. I mean, that's all you find in the clearing. I'll say that as well. Like that's that. There's nothing. There's no other like mechanism or any artifacts there. Nora, you find where you are that statue that I was describing right before. So what I would say is that it is it's overgrown, right, with weeds and vines, but it's also relatively clean.
Okay.
Right, and what you can see is, I don't know if you want to kind of explore it. If you do that, I'll need a spot hidden roll from you.
Yes, I would very much like to explore
okay,
it.
great, excellent.
I need my glasses because I'm all
Please,
lady.
yep.
That's a 30.
That sounds good to me. It's almost certainly a success.
Yes, my highest is 45.
Wonderful. Okay, great.
Regular.
Now we're rolling. Okay, this is good. No, this is great. All right, excellent.
thank
Here
God.
we go. Okay.
We just get used to the island.
Amazing. All right. You find that the central, sort of like, I guess there's like a slab in the center of the statue. It can be removed as you explore it. And actually, Nora, I would say for you specifically, you're kind of drawn to that. Like maybe you kind of, again, how do you know this? hard to say. Inside, there's a recess that holds a circular, plug-shaped piece of wood.
Well, that sounds interesting.
With a yes, with a and it
like
has
a
a kind of
puzzle
like engraved motif on its upper part. It's sort of like a Polynesian, sort of a Polynesian symbology, and the lower part that's narrower has some projections on its surface.
Okay. Is it something that I can remove?
Yeah, you can absolutely take it with you.
Is it booby trapped?
Well, you got a regular success on your spot hidden. Not that you can tell.
Well,
Yeah.
I would like to leave that little cavity open
Okay.
and continue to look around and
Sure.
see if there's anything else that calls out to me here.
Sure. There isn't really anything else in the clearing or in this area that you find. It's just that statue and what's inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Given that I don't know what our good buddy Frank has been up
Yes.
to, I'm reticent to remove anything.
sure.
But in the spirit of moving this thing along,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go ahead and take it.
Thank you. Okay, that's great. Yes, excellent. Wonderful.
Well
okay,
played.
great. Very, very good.
Excellent choice.
Wonderful. Okay, so great. So, like I'm looking on the map, you guys have actually, well, I mean, Frank's in a whole new world here, but for everybody else, you basically
Ariel.
explored. No, it's great. You basically explored, what we have, right? I mean, available to you here. I will say you can certainly, explore the forest, I guess, if you want, but it is quite forested. Like it would be hard to do that.
I'm
so.
gonna come out of the cave,
Yeah.
and then rather than heading to the beach, I'm gonna head up towards where Frank went.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So, Harry and Cassandra, what do the two of you do?
Cassandra, I'm worried that I haven't heard anything from Norah or Frank in a while. I think we should follow where they went.
Sounds good. I'll come with you.
In the meantime, just be careful.
I am always careful.
So we head up in the direction
Yeah.
that we saw them go.
Yeah, so it sounds like all of you are actually kind of coming together. So you again, very similar to what Frank said, you find that gate, right? And so the three of you were together. So I don't know if you want to talk about what you.
Nora, I was
and
worried.
everything. Yeah.
Frank, I saw an unu. It was very unatastic.
You certainly know what I
No,
like.
you're not Frank though. You're Harry.
Yes.
Harry.
Yes.
Harry.
I knew what you meant.
Yes. The island is
rolled
doing
out.
such strange things to everyone. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
You definitely know what I like. Tell me about it. And I
Okay, so
suppose she
I
describes
explain
it
this to
me.
him.
Yes.
The three teeth, missing one tooth, and then the what is water? The symbol for water, right? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then I'm like, and I found this amazing little cog. Look at it. It's amazing.
I'm sure it'll all come together, although it's great to me now.
Yeah.
So we get to the gate.
Yeah. You get to the
And I'm
gate.
frantically taking notes of everything in my journal.
I think we also
sorry, you could-
see
yeah.
like Frank's footsteps, and then they disappear. Right?
Oh, sure, absolutely, yes, yes,
so there's-
yeah, I guess they stop at the gate, and where did he go?
Right. So
yeah,
there's this, 'cause he's a great jumper.
Right. I call out, Frank. Frank, can you hear me?
do you think you hear him?
I don't.
Okay, yeah, he's far enough away. Okay, excellent. Okay,
You
great.
just hear the chittering of birds.
Right.
Yeah,
Laura
Laura Keats.
Laura Keats, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, awesome.
So now we get a look at this gate, which thankfully
Yeah.
we heard you describe it.
Yes, yes. No, it's fine. And actually, what I will say, in the interest of moving this along, is that the item that you found, right?
I was hoping.
Yes, does seem like it might fit in that
at
other, little.
Who knew?
Yes.
Get out.
You can let yourself
Oh, that was great.
Get me come.
All right, so we have 3 players now. Yeah, that's yes, very good. Amazing. Yeah, so it does look like it would fit into the one that is missing, a lid, so to speak.
All right, we all take a deep breath and plug it in.
Okay. Yep, you plug it in. What do you do in the interest of really solving this puzzle correctly? What do you? Yeah.
Should we try to turn it? Does it look like it turns, or
Well, there are levers.
is it lever? Oh,
Yes, there are
maybe-
2
maybe
levers
try
next to. There's a lever next to each stump.
Are the
So,
levers
yes.
near each other? Does it have to be like one person at one lever and one person?
It
at
would
the
have to be
other?
2 different people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll take
maybe-
this one.
I'll take this one.
I'll plug the cog.
Beautiful. Okay. Amazing. Great. So okay. So you all do this. You pull the I mean, okay, excellent. Yes, it works. The counterweight.
We didn't have to roll for that, you guys.
No, you actually didn't.
Right.
Rolling. Just to clarify, rolling is like if it's a challenge, right? Like you're like it's like or another way to put it, if it would be interesting if you failed, is a way to put it. So that one. Not that interesting if you failed. So you great. So you pull the levers, you activate the counterweight on the other side, which now you can see. I mean, Frank saw this when he was over on the other side, but you can see it's actually like a bag of stones, right, with a pulley system, and the portcullis raises up, and the gates open, and you can go through without needing to climb.
Look, I see Frank's footsteps.
Yes. So Frank, actually now, we're cutting to probably a slightly earlier point here, right, where they haven't come in. So I mean, there's a chance you're going to even get farther. So let's see where you are. So where did you want to go now that you're after the lore keep clearing?
This is pointing me towards something.
It's a great question. Those the chevrons are actually they just seem like they're pointing towards like an edge of the clearing. Like there's no path, like obvious path. They seem, I mean, it's hard to tell, but they don't seem necessarily directional in nature precisely, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I really want to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, up to you, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow the direction of these chevrons.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I think to do this, you would have to be kind of going through forest, right? And kind of cutting through, there's no path here, right? Very densely forest area. But you do get on the map there to the east, and you come into that, sort of large clearing, I guess, or beach area to the north. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Yuri. Yes. And and actually, if you guys want, I don't know, do you want to? I mean, are you interested in rendezvousing with everyone? I mean, should we bring the party back together? Do you want to?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay.
I'm
So
still...
you were determined. Okay,
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
This is before we get through.
So this is before you get through.
This is
before you get through. What you
It's a
find?
tall, hard walk to get up there.
Yes.
6
Okay.
miles.
Well, no,
Come on.
I will say this.
Map is not to scale.
Nora, you mentioned you wanted to get up to higher elevation. This is going up.
Okay.
Like you are absolutely successfully going up in elevation here. So that area, that's a large open space, right? As you can see. But there are the remains of huts and pillars in there. Hard to say. Like, I think you would need Harry to really be able to sort of tell what's going on here with all of those with archaeology. But what you can see is that there's actually like a network of trails here, right? That kind of either lead to it, and just kind of cover the area. To the north, you can see that the land is sloping gently down to a river. That's right there. And near the riverbed, there's actually something very odd: a carved wooden basin with like movable parts. So yes.
I'm headed straight for that.
And Frank was never seen again.
Yes.
Here lies Frank. We knew him well.
Yes. Okay, so for our 3 remaining players, we're gonna do. Oh no, I know. That's the end of Frank. Yes.
He is an ex-Frank.
An ex-Frank. Yes, an ex-Frank. Yeah. You could roll, but no, I'm just kidding. No, it's all good.
Yes.
That's right.
An excellent.
Sorry, that's a deep cut.
Wow.
But maybe not for this table.
That was great. That was incredible. All right, amazing. So what this is, and I honestly, I wish I had a good picture of this to show you, but hopefully theater of the mind, we can imagine this well. So what this is like a carved wooden log that is stuck in the ground, right? And it has, Frank, this will be fascinating for you as a mechanic. It has 5 movable wheels inside of it, and they're marked with 5 symbols around their edges, and you can absolutely turn the wheels, right, and match up different symbols, right? So it's, again, I'm not going to make you roll for this because as a mechanic, it's like a combination lock, right? Is effectively what it seems like it could be. And Frank, the chevrons are on these wheels. So you can see that. Also beneath the wheels is a kind of like diamond-shaped button that you are. Okay. Let me just describe it there, and I'll let you make your decision on what to do with all this. But that is what you find.
I am turning these wheels. I need
Okay. Yeah.
I am turning and turning and finding different combinations.
Excellent.
I am turning until I can figure out how this button gets depressed.
Oh, so let me clarify here then. Yes, the button can actually always get pressed. It's actually you can just press it inward. But when you do it, sort of similarly to the gate, right? When you were trying things before, nothing happens. When you So
I'm trying every combination I can.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is yes.
You said there were 5 wheels?
5 wheels. Yes.
So it's only, what's the math on that? Only
it's
about
25.
8 billion possible combinations.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get it before we get there.
Yeah. Incredible. Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll do I'll give you 6 hours and we'll get there. Yeah, it'll be great. Yeah, it'll be great. But amazing. So I do think, I mean, if you really want to just focus on all of that, I do think the other 3 would catch up to you at this point and find it.
I'm hearing the Slinky commercial in my head. For fun, it's a wonderful toy.
Oh yeah. Correct.
Fun of no wonder.
This is where my knowledge of history fails me. Were Slinkies around in the 1920s? I'm not sure.
Yes.
I think were they? Is they not old? Okay, yeah. This is. I always love doing this.
Probably not
It's
the
like
television
figuring out the.
You know what was around?
Log.
It's big,
rolls
it's
down
heavy,
there.
it's wood.
What was the thing where I called out a player?
I am sitting at the right table.
I think I called out a player once for using like a Boy Scout reference in something, and then it turned out they actually were around, and I was completely wrong. That was the whole thing. Yeah. So that was great.
Definitely pre-read and stuff.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
sure
touche.
Yes.
Touche.
Okay, wonderful. So the party's together again now, right? So everybody's. So go ahead. I mean,
Frank, there you are.
Yeah.
We just opened this gate like it was nothing.
Wait,
Amazing.
you opened the gate?
Well, yes, didn't you?
No, there was a piece missing.
How did you get through the gate?
I climbed it.
Of course you did.
How did you open it?
Well, I found a cog.
You found
Yeah, we
Found
just
a piece,
missing
you
piece.
put it in, we pulled the levers, and we
opened
came
sesame.
Where'd you find that?
It was this amazing little cave.
Oh boy.
And then I saw an Unu, and it had a thing, and there were 3, and missing one, and then another one, and the stuff, and
There's another
Did it
one.
look
in the
sort of
corner.
like this one?
There's
Wait a
another.
minute.
Oh, that's right, it was around the... Right.
There's another.
Yeah, there's another one of the Unus. Yeah, there's another one.
Harry, what did they mean?
I guess we're going to find out. Let me... Frank, can you show me the one? Can you show me the one you saw?
Yeah, it's right down this path. There's a clearing over
So I go and I take a look, and I've seen that.
Nice
Pardon
sketch.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of them.
Sure. And I'll say too. Yeah, right. And I'll say too. You're welcome to actually do it if you want. Yeah. I'll say too. When you look at this pylon, right, the wave symbol is there as well.
Which pylon?
Sorry. The rotating column. Sorry, the rotating column. That frames. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
like, look, it's because I sketched it in my sketchbook.
Yes, in
See?
your journal.
My journal.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
it looks like this.
Yes.
So we've got...
I thought symbols.
so we've got shaves and...
Yes.
waves and chevrons.
Yes. Correct.
And a birdhouse.
And a birdhouse on one side.
And a
Yes.
birdhouse on one side. But all the wheels, are they? Is each wheel a different symbol?
Each wheel is a different symbol.
What do those symbols look like?
That's a great question. No, I love this. You've
figure this out.
No, I love this. You've actually like circumvented the puzzle a tiny bit. This is great. Okay. No, this is awesome. Okay. One of them. Actually, Cassandra, give me an intelligence roll for this. Yes,
Nice.
for what you're asking for here.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. 70. Because I have to be under 75, right?
Ooh, nice. You just made it.
nice.
Okay, great. Okay, excellent. Okay.
I think you guys are carrying.
So with a regular success, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Okay. Yeah, okay. Here's what the other symbols kind of look like. Kind of look like. There is one, it looks like it's like a triangle.
Okay.
Okay? One of them is, I have no idea how to describe this without describing what it is. But one of them sort of looks like a like a fish, I guess is what I would say. One of them. Sorry. I know that was great for audio there. One of them looks like a fish. The other looks like a sun.
All right.
Yeah.
Those are the 5. So I suppose we should be looking for some sort of combination. We couldn't possibly stay here with enough time to try all possible combinations, so the combination must be apparent somewhere.
Well,
yes.
I wonder if I saw the one Unu over here, and another one was here, are there more around the island?
You can certainly explore. Yes,
Can
I
we
will
walk
say
the
there.
6-mile perimeter?
You know, as I was, yes, well, and as I mentioned when Frank first got to this area, there, I mean, certainly leading on the map there, like sort of down, you know, there's a trail leading to the east there you can absolutely explore. I should also say, I haven't actually described the river to you yet. I don't know if anybody wants to look at that, because there's a very notable thing in the river as well.
It's just past the combination.
Yeah, it's just past the combination lock. So I might as well describe that to you, especially Frank, you'll be fascinated by what's there as well. So this river is flowing through this clearing in a stone canyon. So in other words, it reaches really high speeds, right? So Frank has just demonstrated his climbing prowess. Maybe you could swim it, maybe, but it would be very difficult. Anyways, it's 15 meters or 50 feet wide, okay? And the surface of the water is about like 6 feet from the edge, right? Or about 2 meters from the edge. So the water is not deep, okay? Like you can actually see, right? I mean, it's like maybe 3 feet deep. Right, in total, but it is like a real natural barrier, and so I actually think, without needing to roll here, especially for Frank, you can tell this was a very carefully chosen place to make like sort of how to access the interior of the island, right? Like there's just a very natural barrier here. On the narrowest side, you see a wooden structure that is secured with ropes. And Frank, you would instantly, I think, recognize this as like a double drawbridge. And there, again, similar to the gate, there's this really intricate system of like counterweights, right, and pulleys that you can tell would let it be lowered. But you know, it seems like, how do you, you know, it's hanging, right? So how do you do this? Frank, go ahead, give me an intelligence roll really quick. Or, well, actually, you know what, I'll give you a choice. You can either do intelligence or mechanical, you know, something mechanical on your roll. You know, feel free to choose.
I'm going to go mechanical.
Yeah, I was going to say, feel free to choose whatever's higher. That's fine, yeah.
32.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah, Frank, you're getting
unstoppable.
Frank's crushing it today. Frank, you yeah, it's a hot dice. Okay, Frank, you Frank, you are getting used to this island a little bit, I think. You know, right? Like for whatever reason, I mean, even though it's unlike anything maybe you've seen before, things are making sense to you here a little bit, how this all works. That pylon, or that log, right, with the symbols, that's how you activate this bridge. I think you can tell there's something about how it's going to all connect, right, where you need to figure out that combination, push that button, that drawbridge is going to work. You just have this gut feeling.
Well, I'm absolutely going to activate this drawbridge.
Cool.
Is there anything in the huts nearby?
So they're ruins basically, but Harry, this is I think like the fourth time I've asked you for an archaeology roll. If you'd like to give me an archaeology roll, you know, we can see if you know more.
Fourth time's the charm.
Here it is. Yes, as they say, it might be 3.
33.
Hey, there it is. Hey, okay. This is actually really funny because you're not going to get a lot, but that's fine. Whatever.
I picked the easy one.
You picked the easy one. Yeah. So you know the thing with well, I'll give you a little. I'll give you something with this. First up, I think you can tell with a successful archaeology roll, this was a settlement. Clearly, like there's clearly a settlement here, and actually, based on the damage and everything, it burned down. So there was some, you know, hard to tell if it was natural, unnatural, right, what have you. But I think this is large enough, right, what's here, that it was almost certainly a village, you know, to some, you know, some capacity. And what, I mean, there's no other kind of, you know, there's nothing else in here to give you any more information, I guess.
Can I tell how long ago that was?
I don't. What, you just got a regular success, right?
Archaeology.
Or maybe was it more?
33 out of 71.
Oh, no, that's quite good.
That would
Okay,
never
never mind. That's a hard success.
Hard success.
Yes, it was not like, it's certainly not ancient or anything. It was maybe you know, hard to say, but 5 to 10 years ago. Okay. Maybe even more recent.
Compared to what I found on the beach that was torn up in the top, do they seem to be similar ages, or?
That's a great question. No, this is older.
All right.
Certainly
All
older.
right.
Yes, certainly older. And the things you found on the beach were more like, Western, I guess I would say, in nature. Clearly like some kind of campsite, from explorers, I would say, whereas this is clearly Polynesian. This is clearly, a native settlement, so to speak. Yeah. So, yeah.
Tell everybody what I found.
Yeah.
And we clearly have to find this combination to get across. Maybe we go down and see what we can find.
Sounds good.
Down this way.
Does everybody go?
Yes.
Well, I'm not missing out.
Yeah, Cassandra's ready to go. Okay, and actually, Cassandra, maybe you're gung ho. Let's have you.
Yes, I want to lead this expedition.
Yes.
Ow.
Right after I break my knuckles.
Oh no, are you all right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay.
Right.
Yes. Excellent.
He's
Good.
looking for a scrap.
Listen, your safety is my most important thing by far. You never know around here. Okay.
Your
Excellent.
safety is
The table looked dangerous. I just punched it. It's fine.
Exactly. Amazing. All right. So, whoops. Oh, that was
my fault.
Oh, that's fine. No, you're good.
That's why we
You're
can't have
good.
nice things.
That's
right.
That's good.
Nope.
That was scary. Yeah. So, yeah.
These right here.
Well,
All right. So you are walking. This path is running along the riverbank, right, as you can see, and almost right away, you actually find another Unu. So if you're leading the expedition, Cassandra, you would see it, and it has a like an octagonal hole in the middle. So it's actually this. This is what it looks like. Sorry, there you go. It's a miracle I didn't hit that mic. Okay, yeah, I did that.
it's the sun. Right?
Is that the sun
Wait.
image, or is that the mountain?
No, that is yes. So
It's Sauron.
Oh wait, I wouldn't
It is-
know that's
yes.
the island. It's only because I saw his things, but we would have seen those.
We
'cause
saw
we-
these on the
and
first
actually-
beach.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So
I
it's
think
the mountain.
Sauron's post the time period this is set. Yeah. But yeah, that's fine. So I'm calling it out. Yeah. So I will just, both in the interest of time and because this is so hard to do without like a very obvious thing for you to see. Cassandra, maybe it's your journalistic instincts. I don't know, however you want to look at it. If you look through that hole, right, which Norah, I will say too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Norah, I will say too. Maybe it's similar in size to that window that you found right at the end of the cave system. Right, this hole. You realize it's looking directly at that large mountain that you saw at the top. So it seems to be suggesting mountain.
Does it frame the pillar?
No, it does not frame the pillar. It just frames the top of the mountain itself.
And
yeah.
is this
Yeah.
the top of the mountain?
Yes, it just like that trident, the description I gave before. But that symbol below the hole also matches the symbol on the wheel.
Is it the
That's
single?
what-
Yes.
Yes, that's clearly a depiction.
But
Yes,
note that it's the center.
the center is missing. Yes.
So number 3 wheel, perhaps.
Yuri's escape room experience is
Yes.
starting to come out. This is
Right.
excellent.
So
Yes.
we have
So in other words, we have there's
Yes.
one in either
One?
from the top or the bottom.
no, we have one.
Right.
One is arrow. No, except
That's two.
Two. That's
Would be
two.
2. So
Okay.
like 2
So
or
2 is-
or 4, depending on what side.
But that's the front. The other
What
one
is
is
it?
back.
The front.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we know that?
Well, if this one is 4 and this is
that's
ostensibly
where
the
the-
front,
Yes.
that would be 2.
Okay, so 2 is arrow. 4. So I guess I'll just make this.
Okay.
And then
Mountain.
would that be a triangular thing,
Perhaps
perhaps?
the mountain.
I don't know.
Well, let's keep looking for Unus.
Okay.
Yes.
More Unu.
Yes. Yes.
Onward.
More,
Who
onward.
knew you-
Perhaps a sentence you didn't think you were going to say when you woke up this morning, but we're here
All day
now.
long.
Yes, yes. Okay, great. So do you want to continue down the path? I assume. Okay, great.
As long as there are no caves.
There are no caves.
I don't do caves.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh.
I don't do caves.
This is good for me to know. Okay. As you continue down the path, you can see on the map there's right where Cissy's pointing there. You can see like there's sort of a more water, I guess is the way to put it, than just the river, riverbank. At that point, the river is actually meeting a dam that is made of like accumulated rocks and wooden planks, and it's holding back some of the water, and it's forming a pond. On the other side of the pond, right, you do see the water. Yeah, give me the Uno. Yeah. Stop talking. Yeah, give me the Uno. Yeah. Yes.
How organized are the rocks blocking this water?
Quite organized. It's a great question. Very clearly man-made. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Excellent question. Yes. So clearly, just like that Unu with the mount, the viewpoint for the mountain was very clearly, precisely placed, right? This is similarly,
this is not naturally occurring.
Correct. Yes, exactly. And again, on the other side of the pond, this man-made pond, effectively, the water is continuing to rage, right? On the river, and it's actually going, it's actually going to like drop at this point, like out to the sea a little bit. So you're very close.
So it's an estuary.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes, it is exactly.
Frank with the
The
big
vocabulary
words.
with the chevrons.
Just
He's the uneducated one of us.
I'm just
making a note of that for everyone.
It's wonderful. It's great. Amazing. Fish and so there are fish and frogs living in this pond. I will say, I may or may not tell you how to do that on the thing I'm reading, but yes, it's great. But you do see, and I know all of you are going to be thrilled, an Unu, emerging from the water. And what I will say is, here's what this one is. Again, I cannot believe I'm not hitting the microphone. It's great. What I will say is, next to this...
That's the fish? That's not the triangular thing that he said there was a triangular
Well, I thought that was the mountain.
The triangular thing.
The mountain was the triangle. Yes, the mountain was the triangular thing. Yes.
That
Next,
looks like an arrowhead.
yeah. Well, let me say too. Next to this Unu, there's actually a wooden platform with a roof, like a small roof, and you find fishing tackle. That is kept there, and. Well, okay, we're gonna mix it up. Anthropology time. If anyone wants to do an anthropology roll for me.
I will happily do that.
Please.
I will probably blow
you
it,
though?
but
Will
I? I did 24.
Hey, okay, now we're rolling. Okay, you actually, you mentioned like how sort of carefully, like it's an estuary, it's very carefully done. Harry, this. You actually recognize this now, maybe from your books, maybe from previous experience. This is actually a fishing construction, like a very targeted fishing construction that's typical of Polynesia. So, So if you want to share that with the...
I do.
Okay.
And if anyone's getting hungry, we know where to come.
Well, I'm never not hungry.
You're welcome to roll a survival roll and see if you can catch some fish.
Sure.
It's up to you. Okay,
Survival?
It's up to you. Do you not have it?
I don't have.
So if you don't, So I mean, unlikely, but if you have if I ask for a roll where you don't have a number next to it, there should be in parentheses, next to it like a number. If there isn't, don't worry about it. It's not gonna.
I don't even see survival.
Okay.
Survival strength.
Not.
Oh, it's under. It's.
Yes.
See where it says.
Oh, there's
Survival
literally
right
a
there.
blank.
Yes.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I
Okay.
know
Great.
survival.
Okay, great. Okay, so
So I can't.
sorry, Cassandra. You might be you might be hungry, but
Fine.
the fish are yes.
okay.
You would have no clue how to. Yeah, maybe you're.
I'll just eat my camera. It's fine.
I also don't have.
Now, I was going to say Nora brought snacks.
Oh,
I did.
awesome.
So,
Jerky, more jerky.
more jerky, and
That's
yes,
true, that
yes,
was your thing.
Yes, see,
Always
See?
the carrot.
It all comes back. It all comes together. Yeah. The final area on this path that you get to at the end, you can see the kind of like lighter brown sort of area there. That's actually like a swamp. It's like a flooded. It's like a flooded wooded area. Now there is a path running through it. And this path, sometimes it's like a dirt path, but other times it actually is replaced by planks, right, that cross over streams or large ponds. And the path ends in, I'm just waiting for the excitement, in a small clearing.
With?
And an Unu, that's right. Yes, with an Unu. And this, I actually have two things for you here. This one is fun because there's a lever. Yes, that's right, that you can pull down. And discover, a little,
the
sun.
The sun, yes.
Perfect.
And when you do this, the
one.
sun shines through those triangles there.
So it's like this. And you pull the lever down?
Yep. Whoa! Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. So magical.
All right, everyone. I have an
look at
announcement.
this.
Based on our unus that we've discovered.
Process of elimination.
Based on the
Yes.
process of elimination, we need to go back to our log. Combination log.
The
Combination log.
And combination log.
Yes.
And insert or roll or however you mechanically
clickety-clack.
adjust it.
Yes.
To go sun, arrow, mountain, wave, fish.
Well, let me count to make sure that we've got the same. Uno, dos, tres.
Okay,
we've got yes.
Sir.
You're
You know,
fired.
I'll get me.
I always regret. I've always enjoyed in 5e when there's inspiration that you can award, right? To people. I regret that there is
There's no
not
inspiration.
quite a similar thing in this. That is fantastic. And also just for a little extra flavor, there's one other thing in this clearing that I will say that you might be interested in. There's actually a stone tiki. In this clearing that is representing a woman with in her hands she's holding like a crescent moon and an egg. This is again something you would have seen in a previous chapter of the campaign if we were playing it in full. Harry, we're leaning on you so much here, but if you want to do anthropology or archaeology, either one.
Or does it speak to
archaeology? I think is my better chance.
Here we go.
34 out of 71.
Harry, you recognize this as, and I may be butchering this pronunciation, it's not too complicated, but I don't know, Hiro, Hiro, which is the Tahitian deity of the moon and fertility.
Okay.
You're in goddess territory.
I tell them that.
Yes.
Okay.
If you guys, yeah, okay.
Just so you know.
Is it
Yes.
a thing that speaks to Norah in any particular way?
That's a great question. I feel like I'm going to be really cheap in doing this, does it?
She rolls. I don't know what I'm rolling.
It's up to you. You don't have to roll. If you want to have Norah,
I think there's something
Yeah.
about it that triggers a memory of my grandmother or my grandfather.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Interesting.
Like as
Sure.
he was, succumbing to this illness, there's something there that I can't quite
Interesting.
materialize.
Is it maybe something he brought back from his travels?
I think he
or
was a
some sort of-
sketcher, and I think he would
Yeah,
sketch.
okay.
And
Excellent.
it's something that is familiar.
Amazing. And so that's great. So I think Norah, that's wonderful. So Norah, I mean, with this happening, I think you have, not that you haven't already, but I think you even more now have like your grandfather and at the forefront of your mind, right? With all this and sort of thinking about, well, gosh, could he have been here? Right? Like
Yeah.
what could this all mean? So we'll keep that in mind. That's very cool. Okay, great. Amazing. So I guess you guys are going back to the pylon?
Let's go on.
Is that
Well, I vote for that.
Right.
I'm
Besides, things
curious
here
where
feel a
the
little
fifth one
sketch.
is, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious where the fifth Unu is, though. Anyway, yes, let's go. Pylon.
Oh, there should be
We
five,
have
right? You should have five.
One,
five.
You should have
2,
five. Yeah.
3,
Unless I missed
4, 5.
Oh, no, never mind.
Phew. Oh man, that would have been bad.
I was able to decipher and make sure I
Michael
verified
broke the
that.
game again.
Oh no, no.
Okay, thank you.
Again? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I'm sure it's happened before.
Yeah.
A good journalist
Thank you,
always
Yuri.
makes
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
she's
yeah.
right before she reads
Very
the
good.
We are fully
We're lucky.
Not like Frank broke the gate puzzle. Yeah, but that's all good. Yeah, that's all. No, it's excellent.
Just climb over it.
Just whatever. Hey, Yeah. I was almost hoping you were going to try to blow it up, just to make Harry mad. But yeah, that's great. All right, wonderful. Okay, so you're going to go back to the pylon.
Yes.
So you had an order?
Yes.
Okay.
It goes sun, then what did we call them?
Arrow, chevron.
Chevron.
Okay.
Triangular mountain, then the wave, and then the fish.
Would you like to do the honors, Frank?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to try pushing that
I would
button?
Indeed. Boop. Press the buttons pressed.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, before you get it, was that a boop?
That was a
It
boop.
makes yeah. Okay.
Did you just boop this tiki pole?
Yeah. Okay.
This log?
I just wanted to confirm that there was a boop that happened there. Yeah, that was great. Okay.
Twist it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
Right.
Now that could not have been invented in the 20s. I'm
it's
sorry. There's no chance that worked. Yeah.
There was a version.
Amazing. Success. You did it. Great job. The mechanism is activated, the bridge gets released, and you now have the ability to cross that bridge.
Nora's like,
and go
out of my
deeper.
way.
Yeah. You guys are ready to go. Now, what I will say is, it is, this whole adventure, right, that you've been on so far, and you guys, by the way, you're doing amazing. You've solved a bunch of really good puzzles. So great job. This has taken some time, right? And I don't know if this is up to you as a group if you want to role play this or not. Different groups have different preferences with this. I know Cassandra's hungry, but certainly a late lunch would make sense at this point, or just sort of gathering your thoughts before you trek, because you don't know what's coming up now, right? In here, I mean, you can see past the drawbridge. There's a trail that seems to be leading upwards and deeper into the island, but you have no idea how long that is, right? Where that's going to lead. So it's up. This is, by the way, this is not the cliffhanger, but I'm just asking if you guys want a little bit of. Little bit of time to just, be a group and just sort of chat about what's coming up next. You could also review these wooden boards and try to interpret them. Whatever you'd like. You can also just say, especially Norah, forget this. I want to go. I want to go run up, and check out the path.
I feel like she's of two minds. The number one is like, oh my god, what is this? I have to go find it immediately. Sure. And the other is responsibility.
Slow down a little bit. I don't know about crossing that bridge just yet.
She can feel Frank's reticence. She knows Cassandra's about to get hangry.
Oh, Cassandra's already hangry.
Yes.
Maybe
She was born hangry.
How about, team? We go back to the estuary. Thank you so much for that lovely wine. And fish a bit. Build a fire.
Okay.
Make some snackables.
Some fish sandwiches.
Fish sammies.
Well, I'm game as long as we can talk about what was on those weird things that we saw when we were coming up this mountain.
Yes.
That's
Perfect.
true.
Okay. Wonderful. That's great. So, okay, wonderful. So, so you let me ask also, I think at this point, right, you also, I don't know if you want to go back down to the beach to check in with the crew that have been unloading. Does anybody do that? Or, forget them. Does anybody do that? Or?
I do that.
Okay, Frank. Okay, great. So Frank, again.
You're probably already dead.
I go to fish because
I would say no comment, but I'm running this. So So go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's just given the intrinsic knowledge of this island, I go to fish. I go to grab the tackle and string it up.
It's funny, Norah. I know I keep harping on this theme, but you don't have to roll survival here. I
think that's what more than anything, for the first time, life is not just happening to her. She is making things happen, and it's such an empowering feeling. And Harry has always been so lovely and taken such good care of her, but also it's real nice to have her own agency.
It's really incredible.
And I call after Frank. Frank, if you're going back to the beach, maybe you should pick up that tilling gas machine.
And bring that up here?
Well, it's not doing us any good on the beach.
Good point. All right.
You said tilling what?
It's a device that I found was broken, but Frank seems to have maybe fixed it. We just don't know what it's for.
Oh, so we don't know the purpose, but the name is tilling glass. Tilling glass?
Tilling gas.
Tilling gas.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
Something I've been tinkering
found
with
it
for
in
a while.
an auction. Strange auction, but auction nonetheless.
I can't wait to see it.
I'll bring it back.
Okay, great. And Frank, when you get down to the beach, I just sort of want to clarify: are you going to bring anything else? I mean, there's quite a bit of equipment that's been left down there. It would probably take you, the four of you and whomever else is going to stay with you from the ship, quite some time to transport it, especially if you're going to transport it up that trail. So do you want to leave some behind for now and come back for it later? What's the plan? Okay, great. Okay, perfect. But you are going to bring the machine.
I'm going to bring the machine.
Okay, great. Anything else from the beach?
And I may bring one of the crew members with me.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Because I'm starting to wonder. There's a lot of man-made stuff on this island. I'm starting to wonder who's here. We might need some.
Okay.
We might need some help to fight some people off.
Excellent.
Cannon fodder. I like the way you think, Frank.
Red shirts.
Always bring a red shirt.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, please. It's yeah. I just
Definitely not gonna touch.
Well, I have to admit sometimes when I'm playing with like we'll pretend that we're inventing these things as they come up, right? So yes, so it's all good. Yes. Okay, amazing.
It's red shirts because they get covered in blood. Is that right?
Yeah.
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. Okay, great. Amazing. All right. So okay, wonderful. Okay, great. So you come back up. We're at the estuary, right, fishing. And Cassandra, you mentioned you wanted to try to understand the boards that you found. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I just thought we could all, spitball.
Yeah. So now this is a sort of a fun thing, or I should say, it's up to you guys what you want to do. You can either just spitball, as you said, and that's great. We can leave it there. Or if this would be more fun for you, again, I'm all about what you guys would prefer. You can give me intelligence rolls, and if you do extremely well, I can give you a sort of quote-unquote official interpretation of
Well, I
what
would
they
like
are.
to do an intelligence roll.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
I think
real
in
quickly?
the
Can we make sure the order's correct?
I was
again?
that part. So I think this is one,
Yeah, that was definitely one.
and then
Oh, yeah,
We just got
unfortunately.
them out of order. So
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
That was later. That was like 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if we roll, we might not have to remember. You know what I'm saying? If we roll correctly.
Well, I'm
That's true.
Pad.
That's true.
Yeah.
You might. That's fair.
I'm pretty sure that's 2.
Okay.
But okay, can I roll?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And actually, I'm sorry. We'll do no, you're great. We'll do a mechanic that we somehow haven't done yet, that I also didn't tell you guys about, which is called a bonus die. So what you're gonna do here? Yeah, no, you're fine. What you're gonna do here is you're going to roll your double-digit die twice,
Oh.
and whichever one is better. Whichever one gets you a better result is the one you will use.
Advantage.
Yes, and it is advantage, exactly.
That was a 20.
Okay.
That was a 70.
Okay, so take the 20, yep, and then go ahead and roll the 1 just to see if you get an
In
extreme or
addition
a...
to it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we
I got
keep
you.
the 20. This isn't quite how you do it, but please.
keep the 20.
This is...
and then
You know,
So
they
keep
say
the
they
20
say
and just this
they
one?
say make the rules work
That's
for
the
you.
one.
Okay, so
Great.
21. Excellent. Okay, great. All right, wonderful.
Now
Okay, that's great. So yes, so you with these boards, I think you talk about this over a delicious meal of fish and well, I
Thank
did
you,
mention there
Norah.
were frogs.
Frog
So I don't know if you guys want to eat
legs.
frogs. Yeah,
Frog legs.
it's all good.
Delicious.
All right, let me see. I'm not sure where the boards are here. Okay, is this the? No.
This is
Okay, yeah. Where is the first one?
Read
Okay.
this one.
this one.
Yes, that's
Here, we can
okay.
lay them out over here if you guys.
That's fine. Okay. So this is the official description of them that you would get. Okay. I do love the beginning of this. There were people who lived on an island. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Very very exciting. Let me see. Where was the next? It might be one of these.
That.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is this one. The islanders found a sea monster, and they began to worship it. Let's see.
Looks like they caught it almost with a
this
net.
one.
Yes, that's the next one. Yeah.
I was paying attention.
Yeah, no, you're amazing. This one, they made sacrifices to the sea monster by throwing people down a well. So that is that one. Yep, I happen to have the next one. Okay. A person who was going to be sacrificed escaped. And that person reached another island.
Yeah.
So we have that. Let me see the last two. The one on your right hand, yes. This fugitive reached the other island and alerted its inhabitants. They traveled to the island of sacrifices, happening with weapons. And the final one, the armed men killed the islanders who were doing all these sacrifices. They sealed off the island and locked up the monster.
Huh. Okay.
So there you are. Yes. And I hope I really show those haphazardly, so I hope on camera that came through, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, but there you go. That is I think what you. So please, now that you've uncovered that, feel free to discuss amongst yourselves.
I sure hope that thing isn't still sealed up on this island. It would be quite angry. I
Where
would
on
anyway.
this island do you think it might be?
Well, the only place that I think seems logical would be that volcano in the distance.
We need to go.
We need to explore.
They may still be here, and they've already killed.
They may still be here, and we could discover them.
Discover them? They will discover them, and they'll chop our heads off. We need to go.
We need somebody alive who can tell us how to cure this ailment, this affliction of Norah's.
I'm with them. I mean, I think we need more information.
I need more ammo.
I need a drink.
That's the end of the scenario. It's been great, guys. No, I'm sorry.
That's the cliffhanger. Does Harry find his flask? I left my flask on the ship.
What an exciting campaign. Yes, it's great. Yeah, I know. It's wild. So, I will say, I was joking, of course, that's the cliffhanger. But we actually, for the time that we had scheduled, we do have 20 minutes left. So we don't have a ton of time, but we are going to get to a fun thing. So with the cliffhanger and everything. So don't worry.
Nora takes off in a sprint for the mountain.
Nora sprints. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Across the bridge.
Yeah, that's great.
We've lowered.
Yeah, that's great. No problem. Okay, so let's get moving so we can get you guys to the fun thing and potentially get to some ridiculous props that we have for you. So this will be good. Yeah.
Get to the props.
Yes.
Get to the props.
Let's do it. Okay, that's great. Do you find your flask? I get a drink. Okay, excellent. Okay, this is important to know. Okay, very good. Did you find ammo?
I did.
Okay. I like that I just asked you. Of course you did. Like, what are you going to say? No? Yeah. No, I actually have played with people who like intentionally sabotage themselves to make it more fun. So it's all good. Yeah. Okay, great. So you've had lunch. You've had lunch, a delicious lunch of jerky and frog legs and fish. And you. It's very high protein. Anyways, you
keto before keto.
That's all exactly. You've invented keto.
For a week.
Yeah, and you but so it's now time to go up that path, right, past the drawbridge. So I know Frank. I know it's gonna be. Here we go. Nora's like just ready for it. Yeah, I mean, Nora, you could be running. Right, like this, you're feeling amazing right now, right? Like this is
I've never
awesome.
run in my life, and I'm like skipping.
Yeah.
This is me asking a question. Is this the path we're talking
Yeah.
about?
So you know what? You know what's funny? We're actually off the map now. So the map is done. We're uncharted lands. Yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
Perfect. So okay. So you go up that path. So this is just a path through the jungle, right? Basically, that's here. And again, the fact that it exists suggests that of course people have traveled this path before, but it is overgrown with weeds, right? And so clearly it's not like maintained particularly well. Again, because we only have 20 minutes. If you're playing this actual campaign, you've got to do like a whole bunch of like bushwhacking and doing all this kind of stuff. Yeah, but anyways, what we're gonna do? It's a half-hour trek from on this path. Okay, but you do eventually get to a clearing at the foot of a rocky hill, and next to a stream. And this clearing has 4 Polynesian huts in it. They are in very good condition, actually, unlike, say, the settlement that you found that was burned down. They have, like, palm roofs, they're wooden pillars, they're wooden floors. You can tell they haven't been used for a very long time, but again, they're not in ruins, easily habitable. So, and I should also say, it's getting late now. So, I mean, unless you want to trek back down to the beach, these are perfect for you to stay in overnight, if you would like. Sorry, say that again.
He said, "I feel like Goldilocks."
Yes. Now, here, a couple of other things to describe in here. So again, there are 4 huts. 2 of them are, just flat in the clearing, but there's also a path that leads up to like an upper terrace, like looking over the clearing, and there are the 2 additional huts on that terrace as well. So, that is a bit of a climb, but there are, kind of, I don't know, but more private, exclusive huts, I guess, if you want to call it that, whatever. There are also, though, there are a couple of very notable things. One thing is there are 4 tikis that are standing in the clearing, and these tikis actually, they're very strange looking. They represent what look like men, right, or humans at least, with fish heads. So I don't know if any of you have seen, certainly Harry, you've not seen anything like that before. No. Nora, do you react in any way to that?
No, just the oddity of it.
Just the oddity, yeah. And you can certainly do an anthropology check on that if you'd like to explore those more. Also, though, even weirder than fish-headed man tiki, is that the way to put it? Yeah, fish-headed tiki.
Sure.
You find this. Next to the village, you find a large hexagonal basalt rock with completely vertical walls. Now, I mean, Frank, you've seen a lot of man-made, things like that. This is like the most obvious man-made thing you have seen. Like, this thing is carved deeply. And next to it, well, here, I'll just give it to you. Here we have it. It's horizontal orientation. This, by the way, is a screenshot from the video game. But yes,
product placement.
There it is. Yeah. Well, yeah. For this, that would make sense. Yeah. But and next to it, you can see that there is this square basalt platform. Yeah. Thank you so much, Regi. With a perfect rhombus. It's about like 8 feet long or so. That's carved in its center. So, what do you do?
It looks like there's a hole in the middle of the rhombus. Is that something?
Yes, correct. There is a hole. Yep.
It seems like much like before with the gate, we should find something that fits this rhombus.
Indeed, a key.
Shall we examine the huts?
Let's.
Yeah, and I again, in the interest of time, because we actually have 15 minutes left in our thing. No, it's fine. Let's say it's night. It's becoming night. Okay, it's becoming so. All of this will have to be explored tomorrow, certainly.
All right.
But you guys can all, get to the huts, right? And sort of, and I mean. There are 4 players or 4 huts. I know you brought a crew member, but I'm fine if you want to make him sleep in a tent, somewhere, whatever.
We're married. We can share one.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I'm actually.
This is the 1920s, honey.
You're going to head for the upper tent.
Yeah,
great. Okay, wonderful.
You don't want to stay in the kill box.
Well, now that it's
what makes you? Regi, what makes you think that?
I don't like Frank just called the kill box. We'll all sleep outside.
Yeah. This is great. Yeah.
Can we all sleep in the same house?
Fine.
Absolutely incredible. All right. So all right. So let's say it's night. So it's nightfall now. Let's say. No, I determined this. It's nightfall. Right. It's nighttime. So you guys are getting ready. Tick tock. Here it is. So with that in mind, you're all now. I mean, this has been quite a day. Right, and I mean, there's all this. I mean, what is this basalt? Giant block that you can see. So I'd love to hear what each of you is doing now. Like at night, as you're getting ready for bed.
I feel like usually by this time of day, and every other day of my life, I am falling into bed with exhaustion. And at this point, I want to go run and swim and play and jump and explore, and I'm having a very hard time sitting still, and I see that it's making the people around me quite nervous, and I'm really struggling to contain it.
Okay, excellent. Cassandra, how about you?
I'm taking copious notes in my notebook about everything we've discovered, everything we've seen.
Yeah.
But I'm also not sure that anything we've come across resembles anything that I've had any experience seeing before. So
sure.
I'm not quite sure how much is familiar to me or not familiar to me.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm just taking lots of notes so that I can keep track of it all.
Excellent. Okay. Frank, how about you?
I am unnerved.
Yeah, you didn't want to come here.
I am unnerved by this whole thing. There's carvings.
Yeah.
There's huts. There's people. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what they are. There's strange tikis. I don't sleep very well that night.
Okay, just in general. Okay, right. Okay.
I am looking over my shoulder because someone or something is coming.
Yeah.
I don't sleep at all, but for the opposite reason.
Yeah, exactly. The 2 of you are opposed.
I don't sleep at all because I'm curious about that basalt. Because it's sort of open, and I don't know what's beyond.
Right.
And I'm mildly afraid of what may come through.
Whereas when I finish writing my notes, I sleep like a...
Yeah, Cassandra's out. Yeah. Well, so this is
We hear a light snoring.
So, this is amazing. Nora, I think it would be... Well, okay, the 2 of you are sharing a hut? Is that right?
Yes.
So, and you're
as long
both...
as there were separate beds, this is the 1920s.
That is fair. And Frank, you're up at the one at the top. Yeah. Okay. So I honestly, based on that, it would probably be Frank and Cassandra at the upper huts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 of you, I mean, you got access to this whole clearing here, right, with the basalt block, and So Harry, I don't know if you're exploring. I mean, you maybe can't sleep and are exploring the basalt block. Nora, the hut that you're in. Right, the hut that you're in. Give me me a spot hidden roll with that bonus die that I mentioned before. So that would be just rolling that 10s, twice.
Yep. Let me read it.
Yep.
That's a 10.
That's very good.
And that's a 90.
Okay, I think the 10 we're going to
with
keep.
10
Yeah, okay, so go ahead and roll.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
Okay, great. That sounds like an excellent roll. Okay. Norah, you can't sleep, right? You are just wound up, right? And you are looking around this hut and you notice like a column, right? These huts are, again, they're functional for the most part, but this column stands out to you because it really is beautifully carved, right? With various like Polynesian motifs. And with that good of a roll, you notice a diamond shape, very small, between some of the different motifs. And you've seen this shape before. You've actually seen it on some of the tablets that are there, and it is actually identical to the one. It's the same shape as the one behind the basalt, the one at the base of the basalt block, right? That's that same sort of diamond shape. Norah, I think something. I'm just going to say something compels you to press it.
Okay.
Okay. To just touch it, and you hear. It is. One thing I'll say about this too, right? Again, especially for everybody who's used to the big city, like it is quiet here, right? Like what a beautiful, just amazing place to sleep. You press that little diamond shape, and you can easily hear, even though it would be faint otherwise, you can hear a click on one of the walls.
In the hut.
What do you do?
I press it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nothing happens, but I think you can see that.
I feel up the column for any other buttons that may be there.
Yeah, there's nothing obvious, but I think as you feel it in the corner of your eye, you notice that a wall that is actually on the edge of the hut, like sort of. One thing I'm realizing I didn't describe is the hut is actually kind of built into the rock.
Then I immediately go push the door.
It's something is unhooked, right, or
compelled.
unlocked, and you find a secret room. Yes. In here, it is covered with like reeds and wooden beams. In it, you find stools, a table, various forms of like traditional Polynesian art, and you find like what looks like a costume. Harry would be able to know what this is much better. So I don't know, Harry, if you
Harry, darling.
Not
with my rolls.
Yeah. But well, that's fair. Well, no, this column has like a fish head. Right neck. It has like a suit of multicolored feathers. I think Harry, if you're in here, if you want to like run back or whatever.
Can I call out? Harry, my old pal, come quick.
Yeah.
On my way.
On my way, darling. Yes. You Harry, this is clearly like a shaman's outfit, right? Like some kind of, it's. But on the table. Sorry, I have to bend down here. Yes. Yeah, on the table, you find
Props.
a wooden box.
Ooh.
Nora, I think I'll have to let you do the honors.
Yeah. Now, I will admit this isn't quite what it would look like in the campaign, but I will describe what it should look like. But feel free to open it if you'd like.
Wait, hold on, Chantal.
Whoa.
Ow.
You take 1 damage, so go ahead and
And I'm dead.
Yeah.
Remove it. There's something in there.
What?
Yes. What that is in the campaign, we're using this as a representation of that, is a stone diamond. And on one side,
want to touch it.
yes,
Yes.
And on one side of that diamond, there is a piece of, it's not on the prop, but there's a piece of translucent mineral glass that's embedded in it. And inside of that, you can see there's a thick black liquid that is similar to like petroleum trapped inside of it. Yes.
Is it black ichor? How many times do we say black ichor?
I saw long legs. I know.
Yes. And now Harry. I don't know if Harry, how do you react to this? Do you do anything?
Does it jog any memories for me?
Not at all. You've never seen anything of the like. However, Harry, you do feel as you're holding it. I don't know if ill is the right word exactly, but you feel unsettled. Yeah, I think is the way I would put it. You also, I think, realize you could tomorrow, I'm sure, do like a science experiment to see if you could figure out what this liquid is or how to, how it would work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm cautious to try to break this open and get the liquid out, but there is something there.
But what if we don't break it? What if we put it in the rhombus?
Well, I think we should try that.
What if that opens the door?
Let's give it a try.
Tonight? like at night? Okay. Let me see.
We've got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, we have 6 minutes. Yeah. You also find this, Norah, by the way, next to the box. It's a spyglass, and you can see the words "distant horizons."
Does it?
On it.
Oh.
Yeah. And Norah, you've had your great-grandfather on. Yeah, please. You've had your great-grandfather on your mind, right? Since finding the statue and thinking about this. Norah, with a chill, you remember Distant Horizons was the name of your great-grandfather's ship.
Everything in my body lights on fire.
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah.
like every
Yeah.
nerve ending in my entire
Yeah.
cell person just is a buzz.
Amazing. And so let's okay, this is 5 minutes to go. Let's see if we can end this in a good way. You two are not going to sleep. You two are sound asleep. Oh no, Frank, you said you don't sleep well.
Right.
Okay.
She's
So
having
you're
dr-
actually up.
She's having
Okay.
dreams, though. Yeah.
Having weird dreams.
This is great. Okay. All right. I think okay. Interesting. I love this. All right. So the two of you are going to run to put the stone in the block. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Or in the diamond shaped hole. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Okay, Frank, are you what are you looking at right now? Are you or what are you doing? I'm sorry.
Well,
now that you're awake.
I'm up.
Yeah.
I'm tinkering with the machine,
Okay.
but I noticed that people are up walking around.
Yeah.
And they're walking toward that weird carving. And why are they doing that?
Okay. Do you go down to meet them or?
I'm watching them very carefully.
Okay. Yeah.
But I hate the idea that they're going over there at night.
Yes, of
We're
course.
supposed to wait till the morning
Of
before
course.
we go tossing rocks.
And darn it, I've left my shotgun behind. All the excitement.
Harry,
What are the
come on.
odds? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Harry, there's answers here.
Yeah.
I know it.
Nora. So okay. This is great. All right. You're putting the diamond in the okay.
With the ichor facing up.
With the ichor facing up. Amazing. You put it in. Where are you standing when you put it in? Are you standing directly over the like on top of, or sorry, like you're directly over the diamond shape?
No, I'm a little in front, like
okay.
laying it in.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. You do this. You place the diamond in. Harry, where are you actually? I'm sorry. Where are you as well?
Standing next to
my
wife.
The two of you are so the two of you are standing there. You place it in. You hear something click, right? And suddenly, where you're standing rises up, like a platform, and it's heading up to the top of the block.
We on a date.
Is this happening silently, or do I wake up with the noise?
Well, you said you were sleeping extremely
sleeping.
deeply,
I'm
and I was
sleeping.
actually going to end on you, Cassandra. But but it's all good. So the two of you are heading up towards something up at the top of that block.
Wow.
Frank, you hear this, certainly. You hear this, and maybe you see it. Frank, that machine that you have been repairing starts to hum. What do you do?
Well, now I'm focused on the machine.
Yeah.
I was worried about the two of them.
Yeah.
But now I'm completely focused on this machine and why it's humming.
Yeah. I mean, unclear. It seems like it coincided with them,
Forget
activating
them
the
now.
mechanism.
Like,
Yeah.
why? Because I've been playing with this thing for a while, and it's never done anything like this.
Right. So, what's going on here? Well, Cassandra,
Yes.
you're sleeping.
I'm sound asleep.
You're sound asleep. Give me a sanity roll, please. Let's see what happens to you. Yeah.
Up at the top.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I
Yes.
said
Yes.
Okay, 64.
Is that
Sanity is 80.
Okay, so you pass.
The sanest one of all.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, Cassandra. So Cassandra, I don't think you wake up actually. based on this. I think you're sound asleep. Like you're not troubled by your dreams. But what you dream of instead of what's going on around here is those fish-headed tikis that you saw, right? You dream of them coming to life, effectively, right? And running down, like they're people now, right? With these fish heads, yes. And they run down to the beach and they start to go through your things that you left on the beach. They start to sort of rip things apart. And Cassandra, I think you see in your dreams one of the tears that they do being like 4 claws. 4 claws as they rip things apart. And what do you feel when this happens?
Something about it reminds me of my brother. And so there's a little disconcertedness, but it's not enough to wake me. And it's just sort of a weird feeling.
Okay. Amazing. And then you hear a scream.
That would wake me. That would definitely wake me. I'm up on my feet and I'm out to see what's going on.
We'll end there. That's how we'll do it. Yeah, we'll end there. Wow. All right, guys. We did it, and a minute over. Okay, that's fine. I'll take it. Yeah.
So there. The dream was about them because it was the last thing I put into my notebook was the 4 fishmen.
Oh, there it is. See, I read your mind. Incredible. Yeah. So I don't know if we want to do a closing thing here for the but thanking everybody for watching. But I know you need to go. But
thanks to especially Sean and Andrew.
Yes, thank you to Sean and Andrew of the Lovecraft Historical Society. Thank you.
That was wow.
Thank you guys. You guys were a delight. Thank you so much. So
same time next month, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But I'll say, this was obviously just a taste of this campaign, and there's obviously much we left on a giant amount of cliffhangers there. All things that do lead to things that are coming up later in the chapter. So definitely, check out the Backerkit campaign, and thank you all so very much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for leading us on this journey.
I'm sorry I'm gonna run, but I love you all.
No.